All right. Our speaker for our topic this afternoon is a graduate of bachelor's degree in electronics engineering at Technological University of the Philippines as DOST scholar. So he graduated his Master of Technology at TUP and currently he is pursuing his Doctor of Technology at the same university. He is a former instructor or system administrator at TUP Visayas, a former IT head at TUPV, and also a manager of technology transfer office and a project leader of DOST PV Hub for Innovation and Value Engineering. So let us all welcome, without further ado, our guest speaker for today, Mr. Jovel Young. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Des. Thank you for the kind introduction. Good afternoon to the students and all the participants. Is my audio clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So let me just share my slide. This afternoon, we'll be discussing about design thinking. So uh, it's been, I think it was the first word or the second word in your uh, icebreaker, thinking outside the box. So it's basically this afternoon is all about thinking outside the box. But how can we think outside the box when we don't even know what the box is? Where are we going to think outside? Like we're inside the room when we say we'll go outside, we just have to step up the door. So before we start with design thinking, we have to first ask ourselves, have we already created our box? And what is that box? That box, my dear children, is actually our preconceptions, our well-established methods of approaching a problem. Like when I present to you a problem, from your experience, you have this method of how you're going to tackle it. Like for example, if I tell you that my problem is I'm hungry, what comes into your mind is always the first step when you encounter the same problem. And as you grow old, like the others, I am blessed to be forever young, so I will not encounter that. As you grow old, you get more and more of these established methods that whenever you encounter a problem, you stick to it because according to you, this is my tried and tested and proven method, and it usually works all the time. However, Einstein once said that if you keep on doing the same things and you expect a different result, then that's stupidity. And if you are to look around you, nothing is actually as it was before. We're having this workshop online when 2 years ago we would have had this face to face, right? You're having your classes through modules or online classes when it should have been face to face. And believe me when I tell you, this is not going to change anytime soon because COVID is here to stay. The only way for us is to adapt to it, and please get yourselves vaccinated. So one way for you to think outside the box is through what we call design thinking. And this afternoon, I will not be talking to you what design thinking is. Instead, I will only be facilitating a workshop that would give you an idea, that would let you experience what design thinking is. So we're gonna go through all the steps, but it's not me telling you what's going to happen in the steps. It is you creating something through the steps of design thinking. So this afternoon, you will be divided into several groups with one goal in mind. And I will tell you what that goal is later. So I hope that you are excited already, and I hope that the previous icebreaker energized you, and the session early this morning was able to awaken the creative in all of us, and I hope that you're ready for the design thinking. So before I go there, I would like to introduce first the organization which I represent. It's the DOST-TUPB Hub for Innovation and Value Engineering. We are a technology business incubator funded by the Department of Science and Technology, being implemented by the Technological University of the Philippines, Visayas. And I've seen a few students of mine here in TUPV. So we launched last December 5, 2019. So we're barely old. We're almost 3 years old. Or yeah. And we have our own building. So this is our facility. So we have office space, we have a co-working space, we have conference room, we have a lot of 3D printers and computers in the facility, which will be opened up to entrepreneurs and startups, and hopefully our students when the pandemic ends. Hopefully. So what have we done so far? We've had 20 incubators already for our startups. This is our first batch, and then the second batch, COVID happened. We migrated all of our programs online. And one of our startup, IF Green Technologies, was actually featured in several media outlets already. And as of today, our startups were able to earn revenue of upwards of 20 million already. So that's for 2 years of incubation. Okay, so that's it for the organization that I represent. Now, we've mentioned design thinking and we've mentioned about thinking outside the box. Now, I'll present to you a problem. This really happened, guys. So a truck actually got stuck under a bridge. Okay, so as you can see in the picture. Now, when the professionals came, engineers, architects, experts, even the police came, they were only given, they only thought of two options. One is to either remove a part of the bridge. The second is to remove a part of the track. Now, as a future engineer, technologist, and a professional of the country, ask yourself, if you are in this situation, which would you prioritize? What would you do? Are you going to remove a part of the bridge, or are you going to remove a part of the track? And this went on for hours. Okay, and this really happened. Now, while they were having this intense discussion, which is more important or which is easier to remove, a child came by, and then the child told them, can you deflate the tires of the truck? And like a light bulb, everyone understood that if they deflate the tires of the truck, it would give enough space for it to move across the bridge, right? So that's an example of thinking outside the box. As adults, that box, again, is our tried and tested and proven ways of solving problems. But as young as you are, you're still open to thinking about radical ideas. You still entertain thoughts that may sound stupid or borderline science fiction, but you still entertain that. If you talk to adults, sorry to the adults around here, and I hope you're still open-minded. If you talk to them, you would realize that their thought process is already established. They have this step-by-step method of approaching a problem. Okay, and with everything that's going around, we can no longer rely on that method, because as we grow, as the world progresses, we need to come up with new ideas. We need to come up with new products, and that is where design thinking comes from. I'm showing you two pictures here. One is a $200 million research project, and the other is the toy that was derived from it. So the first picture is Segway. As I know you're familiar with it. It was touted as the next big thing in transportation, right? You have your personal transport that can actually run instead of walking, instead of running, you use it. Instead of riding a bike, instead of riding a car, you can use Segway. This was actually used in the US. Even police officers use this, but today Segways no longer exist. They declared that they're going to stop production of Segway several years ago. Okay, but what we are left now are actually the picture on the right. You have your hoverboards and you have your basically their toys. Now, what's the difference between the two products? Why is Segway no longer existing compared to the other product? It's because when Segway was developed, the engineers were actually thinking of the technology and how good it is. And it's a common problem with technical people like us. When we think of an idea, we are so sold out of the idea because it's so new, it's so high tech, it's so innovative that we already assume that people would accept it, that people would use it without realizing that we're not actually the end users of our idea. So in the case of Segway, it was developed as a personal transport for people when people were actually will not buy a Segway at the cost of a car for transportation. Instead, people would still prefer their cars. It's better. It's more practical. So no one was buying Segway. But if you pivot it into a toy for children, for kids, these kids would always play with it. So as you can see, what was developed for the adults without thinking of the end users ended up with children. That's because they did not imply or they did not use design thinking. They developed the technology with their own biases in mind without actually thinking, would people buy this? Can people afford this? Okay. So that is what we want to avoid in design thinking. And as future engineers, this would be a very useful tool for you when you create your technology. And I hope that you always consider the end user, you always consider the impact that your technology will bring to the community. But that technology will never even take off if you did not apply design thinking. So what is design thinking? I've been talking about it. That's the main topic of this workshop. But what really is design thinking? Design thinking is composed of 5 steps. Sir, you mentioned we should not follow steps, right? But design thinking actually adapts to whoever the end user is. But there's just 5 simple things that you should do. First is you need to empathize. When we talk about thinking outside the box, you can put yourself in someone else's shoes, another cliche, and think and try to feel as if you are that person. Now you're getting yourself out of your box and into that person's box. Now you know what that person really needs because you feel for that person. You empathize with that person. Then you have to define. Once you've already have a clear picture of what that person is experiencing, now you can define what the problem is and what that person really needs, what the end user really needs. Like in your case, what the students really need, right? Or what the teachers really need, right? Then you can define that. You cannot define that if you have not overcame your bias and if you have not empathized with your supposed to be end user. Then you ideate. When we say ideate, you come up with ideas, and this is not the solution already. These are just ideas. In ideation, it's quantity over quality. You need to come up with as many ideas as you can, whether it sounds stupid, whether it's borderline ambitious, whether it's just an imaginary technology, you still have to think of these ideas. Again, who would have thought that we'd be having this workshop online through a screen, right? Who would have thought that you can just order food at the touch of your hand, right? Who would have thought that you can just call a taxi using your phone? These ideas were once borderline stupid ideas. These ideas were once laughed upon by people when they heard it. But there were just people who stick to that idea, who entertain the possibility that this idea being implemented in real life. And now we have these amazing technologies, and you can do that also. Next is your prototype. You need to create something to interact with. You need to build a model for your idea. You need to prove that your concept works. That's prototype. And the last part is testing. But testing can actually be inserted in each and every part of design thinking. For everything that you do, you need to get feedback. You need to test. You need to ask the people that you're intending. Okay? So if we follow the whole process of design thinking, it saves us a lot of time. Why? If you stick to a technology that you think would really impact the whole world without asking people that you're intended to use the technology, and then later on spend millions and try to sell it to those people only to find out that they do not need it, only to find out that you could have just given them a lower version and they would have bought it. This is what the beauty of design thinking is. Okay? So again, what we will be having this afternoon is a workshop. I will not discuss what design thinking is. It's boring. You would have to talk to people. You would be separated into teams and you will have your own project. Take this time, my dear children, to interact with people. I tell you, these are the same people that you will be meeting along the way as you progress through your career. And if you really pursue a career in science and technology, these people that you would be assigned to within these rooms would be the same people that you're going to meet along the way. And these people would be your companions. These people will become someday your partners. And I hope that someday we would even see each other and we would all go through that path para sa bayan. Okay? So this design thinking workshop is credited to the Stanford Design School. I did not create this. That's why I'm just going to facilitate it. Okay. So this workshop is going to be good for 1 hour and you need to prepare your pens and paper. Okay. There's going to be artwork involved. I know you're engineers, you're good at drawing. Diba? So you will have to use your hands and your creativity throughout the workshop. Let's make this interactive. And before I jump into the first task, I want you to get your pen and paper and give me some reactions, perhaps. I want to see some chat. Tell me if you're ready. Then we'll proceed. Okay, I'm getting some thumbs up. Guys, chat. If you're ready, emojis or anything, we're gonna go design thinking, and this involves a lot of interaction. Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm getting a lot of thumbs up already. Now, what will happen is you would be assigned to a room and you would be forming a team. And as the title of the talk is the wallet project, your goal is actually to create a wallet. Then you'd say, sir, we have millions of wallets already. Okay. But what would be the best wallet? What would be an ideal wallet? Okay. So before we break you out into your rooms, I want you to get your pen and your paper. Okay. And I hope you're doing it. I can't see you right now. So for the next 3 minutes, I want you guys to think and draw and design your ideal wallet. Okay. I hope that you're ready to sketch, build, draw, design your ideal wallet for 3 minutes. Okay. I'll stop sharing so some of you can share later what you've been doing. So again, you're given 3 minutes. I want you to draw your ideal wallet. Okay. So I'm going to start the timer now. So don't worry, guys. This is not an art contest. This is not an art workshop. So no matter how your wallet looks like, if it's the ideal wallet for you, it's fine. Okay. So, well, there's 201 of us, and this is going to be a challenge to the moderators of this workshop. Okay. So you should have your drawing of your ideal wallet before we go to the breakout room. Okay. Okay. So if you're done with your ideal wallet, I'll now give the instruction before we proceed to your breakout rooms. Okay. So what will happen is you would be divided into separate rooms. And then in every room, there's actually a faculty joining you. I would like to request the teachers or the faculty joining to facilitate the conversation. Okay, and I will have to share my screen again. So the challenge, students, and I believe there will be winners. We will be judging the best wallet later on. Okay. The challenge is for your group to create the best wallet for a teacher. Again, the challenge is for your group to create the best wallet for a teacher. I know you're all students, you have your own idea of what your wallet should be, but let's try to bridge the gap and for you to understand what would be the best and ideal wallet for your teacher, especially that it's almost Christmas party time. Perhaps you're considering giving a wallet to your teacher, so at least you can design it now. Okay, so the first step in design thinking is empathize. So when we say empathize, we have to relate to the person that we are creating for. So in this case, it's for the teachers. Okay, so if we have a female teacher or male teacher, it's up to you if you want to build two wallets. Kung para kay ma'am, kag para kay sir, it's up to you. But the idea is you have to build a wallet for the teachers. And we do that first by empathizing. So if now, when I throw you the challenge, my dear students, you say, ano nga wallet ang gusto ni ma'am? Ano nga wallet ang gusto ni sir? Now, if you just start on building it yourself, like your ideal wallet, most likely that your moms and your sirs would, madua-dua pa na sila if they're going to buy it or if they're going to use it. Now, let's apply design thinking. Okay, so the first step is an interview. So you would be divided into into different rooms. You will have your teachers there. And students, I want you to interview your teachers. The first part is for them to discuss to you what are the contents of their wallet. Okay, let your mom and your sir show you their wallet and tell you what are the contents of their wallet. Okay, what's inside those wallets. I'm making a request to all the teachers to please be participative. This is for the benefit of our students. Be given 8 minutes for the first breakout session. Let your teachers discuss the contents of their wallet with you. Okay, we'll ask questions. You can ask questions like say, what is that for? And then so on. But the deeper questions would be on the next breakout, but we will have instructions before that. Okay, so again, you would be separated into several rooms, and students, you are to ask your teachers within that room to discuss with you what are the contents of their wallet. Are we ready? Okay, so I hope that you participate, guys, because this would really be useful for you. And let's make this very interactive so that all of us are enjoying. Okay, so Miss May, we can now proceed with the first breakout room for 8 minutes. Students, interview your teachers on what are the contents of their wallet. Okay. So now you would be designing a wallet for me instead of breaking you out in rooms. So I hope that you design a good wallet for me, guys. So I'll make a quick discussion of what the contents of my wallet are, and then you can take notes, and then we'll proceed with the next step. Because we're having trouble with the room assignments, like with internet connections and all. We understand, and yeah, we have to adapt. So we will be having this workshop as a whole group, and then you would be doing the activity by yourself. I hope that's okay with everyone, since if we keep on dividing you into breakout rooms, you will never finish on time. Okay, so let's start. So this is my wallet. Sorry. I don't really carry much cash in it because I'm an electronics engineer and I prefer paying online or bank transfer or using, the available e-wallets. So I have my driver's license, my PRC license, and all of my IDs, and of course my ATM cards with me. I also have with me pictures of my fiance and my family, and I have this. This is Bacolod's contact tracing card. Whenever you enter an establishment in the city of Bacolod, you have to present it. I also have with me an expired Shakey's card. This is a bit sentimental to me because I had my first date and I used this card. So ayun. So now we're getting personal. So I also have with me this. Can you see this, guys? So you know what this is. So this is how to help you remove your SIM cards from your phones because you can never be too prepared. I have with me my some documents. I still have in my wallet with me 20 pesos, which I cannot spend because this is from my mother. She told me that I need to keep my old people would always tell you that your money should not run out of cash. So they always insert money into your wallet and then they tell you you are not to spend this. Okay. I don't know if you've experienced that also. So I have a receipt for a buffet dated 2019. I think this was one of my last travel to Manila. Yeah. So we miss those times when we can really travel, right, guys? And what else? This one is a receipt of the hospital. My mother was hospitalized last January, and thank God she was able to make it, and she's perfectly fine now. So what else? So most of my wallets are really receipts of important things. Yeah, and then that's it. So if you're going to ask me, my wallet holds only the most important things that I need. I don't really carry much or anything that's unnecessary inside my wallet because as much as possible, I want my wallet to be as thin and as light as it can be. And I also do not carry that much cash with me because I don't have that much cash, but I prefer using digital payment systems. Okay. So that would be the interview. And I've also given you some personal things about me. So that's the dig deeper part. So again, we're improvising here. So now you're going to create a wallet for me. So those are the things that I've told you. For the next, do you carry coins? I don't. I carry my coins in a separate coin purse, which I leave in the car because I don't really spend coins when I'm in the office, like right now. And I usually use my coins to pay for the Gigi Boys. I don't know if you're familiar with that. When you park and then people would say, gay, gay, gay. That's where I use my coins. Yeah, I'll give you, let's say, 10 questions. What's your preferred design and colors for the wallet, sir? I want to keep it simple. Uh, you know, if I can just have everything I want accessible to me, easily accessible. I don't want a big wallet. It creates too much bulge in the pants. And for the colors, I actually prefer dark wallets like gray, black, you know. That's 2 questions already. I'll give you, 5 more questions for your dig deeper. So guys, you can ask or time would run out on us. So no more questions? What else? Thank you for answering. You're welcome. You can chat. If you don't want others to read your question, guys, you can foldable wallet preferred user or hindi. Honestly, guys, if I I have an option not to carry my wallet, I wouldn't. Because I want to have that freedom to move, and I don't. And whenever there are times when I forget my wallet because I place it somewhere because I find it really not comfortable. So especially when I'm playing, and so you have to leave it there. So foldable, preferred user or hindi. I don't have much preference as long as I can carry it easily. That's fine with me. Do you carry your phone all the time? Yes, I carry my phone more than I do my wallet. Okay. Do you like your wallet, sir, or you just use it because you have no choice? Good question. Actually, I'm using it because someone special gave it to me. That's it. Do you prefer, sir, to attach your keys or something to your wallet? No, I don't attach anything to my wallet. I keep I keep a very minimalistic wallet. What type of material wallet, sir? Like example, leather. I think this is plastic or art plastic. Not really. Tela and then a bit of leather. Wallet phone bagay sa'yo, sir. Who knows? Diba? Do you like a wallet that is the same size like a regular notebook? I don't. When I was in college, I don't even carry a notebook, guys. So that goes to say that I would prefer a wallet as big as a notebook. And that's it. That time's up for your questions. Now, based on the wallet tour I gave you and questions I answered with you, it's now time for you to fill up the next part of the design thinking. So you were now able to empathize, and I hope that you were able to empathize with me. I'm not really a very open person. It's just in this time that I'm opening up to like 165 people. You'll have to capture your findings. So in your own opinion, what am I trying to achieve? It's your opinion, guys. You write it on paper. And insights. Make assumptions. Judge me if you want about something that you think is my feelings or motivations or dreams or aspirations in life that I may not be aware of based on what I have shared with you. Okay, so again, you make your first is based on your observations, you write what your end user is trying to achieve, goals and wishes. If this is your your teacher, what is mom or sir trying to achieve by bringing his wallet? What is the purpose of that wallet? Okay, like in my case, my wallet is there just to hold very important documents, the things that I need to get access to as fast as I can, like cards, IDs, and insight. What are the things that you learned about your end user that you may not have any idea before, or something that the end user may not know that he needs and that you realize that he actually does? So I'll give you a minute for that. So, okay, so you write that, and then right after that, this is now where you take a stand with your point of view. This is your point of view based on the observation that you've made and the information that was shared to you during the first interview and the second interview. So you write your partner's name. So in this case, that would be me. I'm assuming that I'm partnering with you guys. You write, sir, where do we need to write it? Write it on a piece of paper, because if you are interested to join the competition, there will be a contest and prizes will be given away. And of course, I will be the judge because this is my wallet. You write it on paper, and then you would have to submit it to me through email. Okay? So I will be judging based on the contents of these forms that you should have written. Okay? So do we need to write it or draw it? Just fill this form out first. Okay. So you write your partner's name. So in this case, it's mine. it's up to you to assume. And then you write something, it's either a contrast or an insight or the reason behind my need. Like, for example, you tell me, uh, Sir Lester's needs a way to access all his treasured memories wherever he is. Okay? Because he is a very sentimental person. That's not me, that's Lester, and I think he's here, right? Or you can say that Miss Amy, your speaker earlier, needs a way to carry as much of her belongings as possible. She's a girl, and of course she carries a bag, which I think is a wallet or a bag, or I don't know. Surprisingly, yeah, Miss Amy has a small wallet for that. So it's a contrast. She wants to carry as much things, but then she has a very small wallet. So the solution could be if she could bring a bigger wallet or something like that. Okay. So you fill this out. I'll give you another minute for your taking a stand. This step, students, is what we call definition. So we have empathize. We get to put ourselves in the shoes of our end users, and now we're really defining the problem. Why is it important to define the problem? Because most of the time when we create a solution, we are actually creating a solution to an outcome of a problem. Like, for example, if I tell you, how can we solve the problem of flood in the city of Iloilo or Bacolod? And then you'd tell me, we'd have to stop throwing garbages because the drainage is clogged. That's a solution, right? But without knowing that the reason why the city is flooded is because the city is actually located in an area, in a depressed area, meaning it's actually lower than sea level. So the reason for flooding is not clogged drainage. It's actually the natural topography of the city. So how do you find a solution to that? Now, going back to your solution, that you have to clean the drainage, you have to stop using plastic because it's clogging the drainage. Will that solve the problem? The answer, of course, the answer is no, because the problem, what you're trying to solve is flooding, which is actually a result of the real reason, which is the natural topography of the city. So the solution would have been is that you are not to allow structures to be constructed in the natural path of the water. And then in places where where water is expected to gather, that's where you put your pumps for the water to move. So if you push through with your garbage solution, then it's garbage. It's not going to solve the problem. But you really had to define the problem, and that's the purpose of the second step. It's not always our assumption is correct. Okay? We really need to go deep and to define what the problem really is and what is really causing the problem. Okay? That's taking the stand. Next is my favorite part of design thinking, which is ideation. When we talk of ideation, this is where you come up with solutions. But the solution that you come up here are not really one-time, big-time solution. It's not the solution that's going to end world hunger by its implementation. But when we say ideation, you come up with as many ideas as you can that will actually solve the problem. If you think this can solve the problem, you draw it. If you think this idea, no matter how outrageous it sounds, can solve the problem, you draw it. You entertain all ideas because in ideation, it's quantity over quality. Because you know what, guys? Even the most outrageous idea can become the best solution. Okay? So this time, you would really have to do this activity. I will be giving you 5 minutes based on what I need for a wallet. You have to draw your solution. You have to draw your design. Some of you sent messages, sir, you don't need a wallet, you need your cell phone or so. It's up to you guys. it's up to you what solution is best for your end user. So uh, again, this is quantity over quality. So you're given what, 5 minutes, but in this case, since we spent a lot of time in the breakout rooms and so on, uh, I'll only give you 2 minutes, since you will be given time to fill up all the sheets and then submit it to me if you're interested to join the competition. Okay, so I'll give you 2 minutes, and the challenge is come up with 5 wallet designs. Okay, are game? G, guys, G, guys. If you're game, guys, just chat. Ayan. Mega chat na. G. Okay. Game. 2 minutes. Create 5 solutions. Force those creative juices out of your. Try to come up with 5 solutions in 2 minutes. Kaya nyo na, guys, kay nag-workshop na kamukagina sa brain play. Okay? 2 minutes. Okay? Time's up. So, who among you was able to generate 5 ideas in 2 minutes? Just raise your hands. Don't worry, I will not make you share. Wala. Raise your hands. How do you raise hands if you're using your mobile? Ayun. Someone's raising their hands. Good. So we have a few people raising their hands. So meaning they were able to generate 5 ideas in 2 minutes. You know what, guys? When I had this workshop, when I went through it myself, in 5 minutes, I was only able to generate around 8 ideas. Now you were able to generate 5 in 2 minutes, meaning in the given time, let's say in 5 minutes, you would probably generate 10 or more ideas. And the most idea that was generated when I attended this workshop was at around 12 in 5 minutes. So meaning to say, you are still really creative. And that's very good. You keep on nourishing your creativity, guys, because to be an engineer is not only to be good in math. To be an engineer is not only to be good technically, but to be an engineer, you need to be creative to come up with your solutions. Okay, so the sixth step should be sharing your solutions and capturing my feedback of the solutions that you proposed, right? However, since I cannot really give feedback for each of your solutions, we might have to skip this part. But if some of you are interested to present your idea, I'm willing to entertain that, let's say in 5 minutes. Who wants to share their ideas and I'll give my feedback? So someone is raising his hand. David, you want to share your idea? You're from TUP Visayas, so you'd most likely be my student someday. Wala. No one wants to share the idea? Okay. So if we were able to do this the right way, you should have shared your idea with me and I would have given feedbacks, okay, based on your idea. So you created 5 solutions and then someone actually asked me, sir, can we create just one solution for the whole thing? That's the next step. So from those number of ideas that you generated, it should have been 5 at least. And then when you shared it with me, I gave you my feedback, and you should take those feedbacks and create just one big idea out of that feedback, which is now your ideal wallet for me. So going back on the steps of design thinking, where we're able to empathize by doing the interview, asking personal questions, we're able to define by using our observations and stating our insights, okay, and by taking a stand, by stating our assumption about the person or about the end user. So that's step 1 and step 2. Step 3 was ideation, wherein you came up with so many ideas, all valid, all possible solutions, all good products for the person that you're trying to build something for. And then you presented that idea to that person, and that person should have given you feedbacks. I like this idea. Okay, this one I don't really like it because there's that. Now you take everything that person likes within the bounds and the limits of physics. Like if, for example, I want a digital wallet and I also want a black wallet. How can you do that? So you make a black digital wallet, which doesn't really make sense, right? So you take all the things that he likes and you create something that is within the bounds of the natural order of things, and you put it into one idea. Okay, so based on my feedbacks, I would have liked those wallets that I can just use as fast as I can, and if it's possible that I don't have to carry anything to use my cash or to have my ID with me, then I'm fine with that. So we're leaning towards a non-tangible wallet here. So that would have been my opinion. So most likely you'd be creating a solution that's not a wallet anymore. Okay. Now, sorry guys, if we're just improvising here. Next, this would have been the best part of the workshop. And you will have to do this. If you are to submit your entry to the competition, I will require a short video demo of the prototype of the wallet. Now, how do we do that? You build a prototype, but sir, if I'm going to build a digital wallet for you, I can't build a prototype because I don't know how to code. No, you just have to do something, create something, paper. Because when we do this with students, they make wallets using papers, art materials, and so on. So you build that and then you demo it on a short video. Okay, and you tell me, sir, this is the wallet that I built for you. You can still build a physical wallet, guys. I don't know. I may not know that I need a physical wallet. You may have your insight that Sir Yang is only thinking that, but he still puts sentimental value to some of the things, and he should be carrying these things because something would be missing in his life if he doesn't have this with him. Like atong SIM card remover, right? You can't put it on a digital wallet. So you can still create something tangible for me. Okay? So you have to build a prototype. Well, someone chatted. Can I share my ideas here? Sure. David, would you still want to share your ideas so I can give my feedback? Or
Mr. Good afternoon.
yes, good afternoon.
May idea ako, sir, pero do ano bala? Do kay posible pa sa susubong mahimo bala, sir.
Go.
Ang wallet na sa do mabutang mo sa isa ka ring bala, sir. Sing-sing. Tapos daan tag sige. Do storage ring bala, sir, nga ma-activate mo sa do interdimensional bala, sir. Do ka mo na bala. Hindi mo na kinahanglan mag pwede mo mabutang tanan mo da nga gamit do man pa, sir. Galing kayo din, eh.
I actually like that idea.
The spatial storage system.
Yeah, I like that idea because I don't have to carry anything. Although I don't really like wearing jewelries, but the idea of being able to access everything through a ring, and yeah, it sounds impossible now, but I tell you, with the progress of technology, we're only a few years away from that. Okay, so actually, right now you only need to have a small chip that you can carry around. Like even your phones already have NFTs, near field communication transmitters, right? And you can use your phone to like swipe. You carry your QR code within your phone to like swipe it. So it's possible that we put a chip in a ring, and then it can be read in a reader, and then it transmits the data, and then it verifies you that it's you, and then it checks if you have any balance in the bank. It deducts it if you're going to pay for something. If I want to be identified as I am, I'll just swipe my ring. Or yeah, that's a really good idea, and I hope you'll be the one to create that soon.
Thank you, sir.
Some more. I think someone also raised their hand. Anyone else who wants to share their idea wallet for me? Ayan. JV Fuentebella. Kabut sa mga taga-TUP. Okay, I remember you guys. Don't worry.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, good afternoon. No? Nang simple idea lang siya, sir. Kay I've been in your sa NOHS na sir last time.
Okay.
So ang idea ko sir is doging modify ko lang last time among idea sir. Nang sa Japan sir ng cellphone case sa Japan, but nang hindi mo siya ay ang cellphone case na sir naka-attach sa likod ang like mayara to sa sulodlan sang imo credit cards, mayara sulodlan sa picture sang imo fiancé, and important nga kinanglan mo pagid sir and hindi sa sir magbukas unless ikaw ga-operate sang phone mo. Like ang phone right now sir mayara na facial recognition, mayara naman siya fingerprint. So unless ga-activate mo phone sir, hindi siya mag-open ang case nga sa likod sa kaya nga ang wallet nga sa likod sang case. And this case sir, it's either may ara sa circuit nga ga-activate siya, or we can use the black conductive paint sir, which uses carbon to conduct electricity. So this can be a good idea sir, especially electronics engineering ko. And wala na sir.
Yeah, that is indeed an amazing idea, and it's actually doable if you create a casing for a phone. Diba? I want you to hold on to that idea, JV. By the time you reach fourth year, that might already be feasible enough that can be your thesis. And imagine if, I know some of you would also use that because as technology people would always want as much information, as much things that we can carry in the smallest space that it can occupy, right? So I think that's good. We have another one raising his hand. Earl.
Oh, hello. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon,
Good
everyone.
afternoon.
So, I'm not knowledgeable enough, sir, in electronics. Pero my idea, guro, sir, is ang system siya, sir, sa phone. Then, the hologram siya, sir, bali, if, di ba, ang sa future, hindi man taka pakot, malay mo, hindi taman gid need na mga IDs nga literal gid. Then, malay, taya puro na online. Then, sa bulig sang holography sir di ba makita ta na da mga 3D objects mga recorded bala sir so pwede ta da magamit example bi sa system sang phone ta gusto ta ipakita bi or ginapangita nila bing aton nga ang student ID mga PRC or whatever bali i-show ta lang lain sir or i-click ang muna nga area tapos magwa lang sa dayon sa phone ta do hologram sa sir.
Yeah. And you don't Earl, you don't need to be really knowledgeable in electronics or coding to actually do that. We live in a world of a collaboration, partnerships, and teamwork. So you just need to find someone who's good, and then you present your idea, and then you execute it. And when regarding your idea, yes, that's really possible because you know what, we live in an age where information is accessible at the tip of our hands, right? If I ask you a question now, let's say about who was the first Filipina to win the Nobel Prize, of course you know the answer. But if you don't, you can just Google it, right? So,
Sir.
meaning to say, information is already within our reach. Even our personal information, there would come a time that you would be identified as who you are by just simply looking at you because all the information is already within the cloud, right? So these are really great ideas, guys. And it's good that you think about these things because you are indeed the future of the country. And because of design thinking and because of this, I hope that you would learn to always go back to the root, or you always go back to design thinking wherein you should be user-centered, okay? Before I go into that, so this is the last part of the design thinking. So after you have created your prototype, you should have shared it with me, and then I would have used it, and then I told you this, I really like this, or I could have told you, sir, we can improve this, or if I had clarifications, and then I could have shared with you some new ideas and so on. Wait, someone is sharing is a foldable wallet, sir, which you can store your cards, pictures, paper money, and IDs. This is my idea. It may not be techno-modified, but for me, it is minimalistic and organized. Yeah, it doesn't really have to be high-tech because you are just trying to solve a problem. Remember that, guys. Okay, so that's design thinking for you. Okay, let's end this first, and then we'll talk some more about the future of technology and all. As a future engineer, as a future leader of the country, and as a future scientist, since most of you are DOST scholars or aiming to be DOST scholars, most of you wants to become an engineer, a scientist, or anything that's related to technology, you would be driving the change. You would be creating the products. You would be inventing the newest technologies that humankind would be using. But as someone who is now familiar with design thinking, please bear in mind that when you create something, you have to make sure that that something is really going to be practical and impactful. Do not create something that no one will use. Okay? Because at the end of the day, it always boils down to, is someone buying or using my product, right? Even if you've created the technology of the future, when no one is going to use that because it may be too much, because it may be too expensive, it may be too complicated for people to use, then it would just end up in a shelf somewhere. But if you root your innovation, your research, your proposals into real life problems encountered by real people who expressed an interest in your solution, then you are heading towards creating a solution to a problem that would really be impacting the community. Because the danger of being an engineer, of being highly technical, is that we oftentimes create solutions that are not really hitting the target. And that's the beauty of design thinking. Okay? I hope that when you students become engineers, become professionals, you would always look back, I'm going to implement this solution, because design thinking is not only in product development or solutions development, it actually is applicable to all aspects of your life. Nga wala ka gina sa pack ni crush, bisan ka pila ka na magpa-cute. Nga wala ya ka gina chat, bisan ka pila ka na mag-react siya story. So how do you solve that using design thinking? Again, you empathize. You try to think, kung ako si crush, ay hindi man ko tuod magsapak sa akong self, daw stalker na ko. Diba? And then you come up with something different. Diba? Like, nga, grabe naman akong tuod sa akong subject, pero fail ko Japon. Every term the struggle ko Japon. It could be that something is wrong. Now you go back, what am I doing wrong? Okay, you go back to the root of the problem. It could be nga grabe to di mo tuon, but by the time that you're given a quiz, you're actually panicking. Right? Nagaka blackout ka during your quiz. So meaning the problem is not your study habit, the problem is in how you are going to face your quiz. So this is the beauty of design thinking. You can apply it in anything. If you become managers later, why is it that most of my employees are going out, or most of my employees are resigning? Why is it that even no matter how I try to motivate my employees, they still give up on the project? And you can still use design thinking for that. So to wrap it up, design thinking is a 5-step process. Sulit-suliton to na guys, as sa memorize. First is empathize. You put yourself in the shoes of the end user. You put yourself in the shoes of the person you're trying to help. Okay? Then you define. You need to really go deep. You need to really understand what's going on. You need to get a really clear picture of what's really going on, because sometimes you might just assume that that's the problem, but it's not. Okay? Basi gina-assume mo nga hindi ka crush ng crush mo kay hindi ka mo nakagwapo or kagwapa. Pero ang totoo, dali yung problema kay wala mo man siya ginpabalo. Diba? So you really need to define the problem. Diba? May pag-asa pa guys. Gamitan nyo ng design thinking. It works always. So now you can use it in your crush. Diba? After that, you ideate. You come up with ideas. The more ideas, the better. I know now what's the problem with my studies. Now, these are the things that I can do. Okay? And then you try and test those ideas. Okay? You get the feedback. What works, what doesn't work, and then you come up with one solution towards your problem. And then you execute that. You build a prototype, and then you use it, and then you test. And by the time that you've reached the last part, which is testing, it's something is still not working, meaning you can still do something about this. Okay? So remember this, life or design thinking, the same with life, is a constant process of testing and improving. Okay? Even with all the technologies that we have now, everything can still be improved, diba? Even if you look at the applications that you're using in your phones, or our traffic system, our disaster risk reduction system, everything can still be improved, diba? And these improvements, these new technologies, this impact in the community, these problem solvers are actually here listening to me talk right now. Because these people are you guys. Because like myself, like everyone else, like all teachers believe that the youth is still the hope. And that's why the youth should be trained in the right ways. Okay? So if you have any questions regarding design thinking, you may ask now. For the email, what I will be requiring you are the answers to the steps here. So again, that's design thinking. So for those who are interested to join the competition, please send an email to, I'll chat it here, hive@tup.edu.ph. And then I will send you this form so you can fill it up, right? You have to draw your solutions and a short clip of the product of the prototype, and then we will inform you who the winner is. So with that, do we have any questions coming from the participants? Okay. And for those who shared the ideas, and those, I know there are still a lot who did not share but have really great ideas, keep working on it. Keep believing in those ideas, because that will never see the light of day if you stop believing on it. Okay? With that, thank you everyone, and I hope you have a good day.
Okay, so once again, thank you, Sir Jovel, for that very engaging workshop, no? And we are somehow lucky na naitaguyod ang activity. So, okay, so the certificate reads, a certificate of appreciation is hereby awarded to Jovel V. Young for his invaluable insights, experiences, and expertise shared during the webinar entitled Design Thinking Youth-Centered Innovation. So as part of the 2021 Pre-NSTW celebration in Region 6 on October 13, 2021 via Zoom platform. Signed, Engineer Rowan R. Hilonga says so too. Once again, Sir Jovel, thank you very much for your time, and we are hoping for your more interaction with DOST and with students.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so in behalf of DOST, 6th Regional Office, together with our provincial SNT centers, we would like to thank all of the participants from various academic institutions from joining our first day activity of pre-NSCW activities today. So I hope that you have enjoyed our games as well as our topic discussions regarding design thinking. So my key takeaway for design thinking is that in order for us to become innovative thinkers, be it in school, business, our future profession, or even in your crushes, we need to go back to the basics, to contemplate with the question, why we are doing things, or simply, we need to know our purpose and who will benefit with our actions. So our complex minds are only good for nothing if they don't justify our needs and fix our problems. So before everything else, we also need to show empathy and understand our people, be interested with what we are doing, and accept our differences and work together as critical thinkers of our society as we think outside and beyond the box. So as what Morgan Freeman has said, how do we change the world? One random act of kindness at a time. So once again, thank you, and please don't forget to fill in the evaluation form via the link typed in our chat box. And also, I am inviting you to join us tomorrow for our another very relevant topic, the Fake News 101. So I know a lot of us are very, affected by this topic. So we really encourage you to participate again tomorrow. So for our winners, kindly contact our organizers via the numbers in your chat box. So we will contact the winners for validation and of course for the process on how you would avail your prizes. So once again, thank you very much. Stay healthy and keep safe, everyone.